And we are back here on Good Morning Quad Cities at 11, taking your plant and garden questions with our expert Craig Hignight. Let's kick it off with Kathy. I have 2 rose bushes that need to be moved. Can I do it now or should they wait?
I'd wait just a little while. You actually want to do that early October. This is when they're going to be going dormant naturally. You're going to cut them way back, down to about 10 inches above the ground, lift them, put them back in the ground, use your root stimulator, mound them up with hardwood mulch during the winter. They won't even know they've been touched next spring.
This is from Cindy. Does a dogwood bush need to be trimmed and when?
Dogwood, if you're going to trim dogwood, it should be trimmed immediately after they get done blooming, because this late in the season, you'll be cutting the flowers off. The flowers are already there for next spring.
Joyce is wondering, is it okay to transplant hostas now?
They're going to come through. You can't kill a hosta unless you put it in the microwave for 2 minutes. So, again, they're not going to look very good for the rest of this summer because the foliage is going to get so damaged in the transplanting, but go ahead, get them out of the ground, back in the ground, get the root stimulator on them, and if we don't start getting rain, make sure that you water them when the soil dries out about 1 inch deep.
From Myrna, how do you know when it's time to thin out the daylilies?
Daylilies it's just an every 3 to 4 year project, and I would do it every 3 years. They grow so fast, they get so tight, they literally crowd themselves out. So I would just plan on digging, dividing, and saving only the best part of the daylilies when you put them back in the ground. It'll really give them a new lease on life because you're going to add some organic matter, get rid of all the weeds around them. So, do this immediately after they get done blooming on the 3rd year.
Michelle's wondering, when should I plant my baby hibiscus in the ground?
Well, if it's an outdoor hibiscus, I'd get it in the ground now. You've still got a couple of months to get it established. And remember, when it finally cools down, you want to go ahead and put plenty of mulch around this plant so the ground cools down as slowly as possible to keep those roots active as late into the season as possible.
From Tom, I spilled fertilizer on an area of grass. How do I repair the soil so that the grass will grow there again?
Okay, the important thing is to go ahead and really water this area. Fertilizer is movable. If you water and water and water, you can flush it out. You'll know by next spring whether or not the grass is going to go ahead and fill back in. If it doesn't, you can take out that small area and just patch in a piece of sod when spring comes.
Linda's asking, can you plant Rose of Sharon now or is it too late?
No, Rose of Sharon, again, we've still got a lot of summer and early fall left. So, now would be the time. And as I happen to remember, Wallace's has a sale going on in their nursery right now.
Oh, there you go. This is from Sherry. When should I transplant my irises?
Irises, you've kind of missed the boat for this year. I would have done it shortly after the 4th of July. You're running, about 2 months late right now. If it's a kill or cure operation, if they're going to end up under a sidewalk or a driveway, do it now. Just remember that in the spring, they're going to have a tendency to push up out of the ground because they're not going to have a lot of roots. When the ground is really soft in the spring, right after the frost goes out and the yard is just like a giant bowl of pudding, just gently step on each iris to push it back into the ground.
Sue is saying, my tomatoes have tiny white spots right under the skin. What is this?
This is probably a flea beetle damage. It is not damaging to the fruit, doesn't change the flavor or anything. You might just want to peel a little bit, take the skin off, and that should get rid of the white spots.
And from Daniel, I've had construction kill off part of my phlox. Should I trim off the dead part or the whole plant or do something else?
No, just take out the dead wood. You can take out dead wood at any time. Like I keep saying, these plants are putting down the food for next spring right now, so let the live part stand, get rid of the dead part.
John, when should I cut back perennial ferns? They are turning brown and starting to drop in the yard.
Okay, they're going dormant early because of the dry weather that we've had. Again, I wouldn't clean off the ferns until probably late October, 1st of November.
Wow, we had a lot of questions.
Really,
today.
really?
Yes, so thank you so much for joining us, Craig. And as always, you can join our Facebook Live each and every Wednesday where you can be a part of that conversation. Good Morning Quad Cities at 11 will be right back.